Let's talk a little bit about 2D and 3D hotspots and when you may or may not want to use them and which one is the best. Spoiler alert, there isn't a best one. In this shot here, I have an exterior of a bar which has some drink specials. And in real life, you can kind of see here in the window they have posters put up which advertise drink specials, and they wanted to have a virtual experience where people could click on a hotspot and it would open up their drink special list, which is exactly what happens here. So you click on this, it opens up a PDF of whatever the drink specials are. Great. Now, you can see I've got this, it's kind of centered in their window here, and if we zoom out to see the entire thing, you'll notice that this hotspot is still perfectly readable and very, very visible, right? It hasn't changed size at all. You'll notice that this will stay, I'm going to zoom in again, this will stay the exact same size. Now we can see exactly what's going on, okay? So that thing stays the same size, everything else kind of shrinks around it. This is perfect for this use case because this is always visible. If someone has zoomed out and they're kind of looking around at the scenery, they can always see that this is still there, and they're going to click on it and their attention is going to be drawn to it. Let's just, for the heck of it, turn this into 3D. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and I will turn on the 3D option, and I'm going to go and I'm going to scale that so it's the same size it was before. Okay, and we'll click save. Great, so this is now 3D. Now, if someone zooms out and says, oh, you know what, I would really like to look around at all this scenery and see if there's anything else cool in this picture, and they zoom out, that hotspot is all but lost in the rest of the scenery and stuff that's going on, especially if they're on a much larger monitor. I've got this toned down so you guys can see details, but in this instance, a 3D icon is probably not the best bet. But Tim, you could just make it a bit bigger. Well, I could just make it a bit bigger. So we could bump the scaling up so it's, that size. And it's still not, well, here we go. As it gets a bit distorted around the edges, it does get a bit bigger, but it's still not as in your face as the 2D one. And then likewise, as you zoom in, it perhaps gets a little bit too big. You can see a bit of distortion around the characters as the browser's zooming in on that. Again, in this case, I think 2D wins, right? Crystal clear. This is all HTML all the time, so the browser's rendering it as HTML text, so it's perfectly clear. Screen readers pick it up, etc., etc. This is much clearer and a perfect use case for 2D. Now, when would you want to use 3D? Well, let's flip over here. All right, now for something completely different. I run a very successful hot sauce store, and I would like to have a retail engagement with my clients where they can click on and purchase them and add them to their cart, etc., etc. So in this case, you can tell right away why 2D is not going to be the best option, right? Because they are the same size. If I go here and I create a point hotspot and I just put it here, immediately it's already too big, okay? Even if I erase the text and just have it as an icon. Of course, the $sign icon, right? Having multiple of these is going to get really big. This works at this resolution, but let's say that they are on a mobile phone and things zoom out. Okay, all of a sudden you're getting all this overlap on all these bottles, right? As they zoom out and zoom in. This is a perfect use case for 3D hotspots. So we'll flick on 3D. We can make some sizing adjustments so it fits right onto that bottle. Perfect. Now, as they zoom out, let's add a secondary one so we can see any overlapping. I'm going to go and I'm going to open up the More menu here, and I'm going to click Duplicate. Did you know that was there? Because now you do. I've duplicated that hotspot a couple times. Zoom out a bit so these are a bit easier to control. There we go. Place them there, place them there, place them there, and I'll save that. And now, as we zoom in and out, you can see that they maintain their size and they don't overlap or cause any other issues. This is a perfect use case for 3D hotspots. So the answer as to what type of point hotspot is the best, 2D or 3D, is, like most things in life, it depends. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.